the history of the group, John has written so many of our arrangements, and also original compositions as well, and I'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. From there, we turned to a Western motif. Being the Dallas Brass, it seemed appropriate. We played the theme from the 1960 movie, The Magnificent Seven. The music was written by Elmer Bernstein, and Bernstein captured the spirit of cowboys and sunsets and the Wild West with his music like no one had ever done before. In fact, the esteemed American Film Institute ranks The Magnificent Seven as one of the top 10 movie scores of all time. And that's not just Westerns, but that's all films. So we're talking thousands of movies dating back well over a century. Now, from there we turn to the music of America's March King, John Philip Sousa. The Semper Fidelis March is the official march of the United States Marine Corps, and in fact, Sousa wrote it back when he was the conductor of the Marine Band back in the 1880s. Sousa wrote over 130 magnificent marches. He once said that he felt that Semper Fidelis, in many ways, was his finest. And then we transitioned into some early American jazz. That was the 12th Street Rag, written by a Texas composer. U.Day Bowman came from Fort Worth, Texas, and he actually wrote the rag about 12th Street in Kansas City, which along with New Orleans was a real center of early American jazz, and apparently that part of town around 12th Street in downtown Kansas City was a real hot spot. A lot of people don't know this. I don't even know if you guys know this. He also wrote the 6th Street Rag, a 10th Street Rag, and an 11th Street Rag. But clearly it was the 12th Street Rag that put him on the map. Even they got it. Did you hear that? All right. At this time, we're going to take you back to the early years of American history. We're going to play two short pieces for you, beginning with Hail Columbia. Now, this piece supposedly was written for the inauguration of President Washington himself. It is also our first national anthem. From there, we'll do a tune that was extremely popular back in Washington's time, and remarkably, this song has remained familiar to every generation since. There is no other American song for which that claim can be made. fathers were musically inclined. For example, George Washington played the flute, as did Patrick Henry and John Quincy Adams, for that matter. Thomas Jefferson played several instruments, including the violin and the cello. And Benjamin Franklin, he played both the harp and also the guitar, but not the electric guitar because he hadn't yet discovered electricity.
Never did.
That wasn't really intended to be a joke. That's an historical fact. Yeah. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. Now, when doing a concert of American music history, we feel that it's important to acknowledge our European forefathers. The great classical masters have had a profound effect on American musical culture, and how could they not when we're talking about the likes of Johann Sebastian Bach and Mozart and Beethoven. The music comes primarily from Europe, England, France, Germany, Austria, Belgium, Spain. So many countries have contributed, but we in the Dallas Brass feel that the Italians have the most interesting list of composers from which to choose. For example, you've got, let's see, Vivaldi, Tebaldi, Gastaldi, and Frescobaldi. Then there's Corelli, Torelli, Gemelli, Minelli, Locatelli, Caffarelli, Conchielli, and Gabrielli.
About to Kelly.
Now that still leaves us with Giardini, Agostini, Gasparini, Sammartini, Carissini, Boccherini, Cherubini, Franceschini, Manfredini, and Paganini. Along with Tartini, Nardini, Torrini, Pasquini, Bellini, Cellini, Mangini, Rossini, Gambini, Spontini, Puccini, Martini, and we mustn't forget Henry Mann. Exactly. Did you recognize that, students?
Yeah.